It's weekend edition of Daily Distinction. Really glad that you're here, whether you're watching live or on the replay. Thank you for taking time out of your Saturday to stop by and say hello. As you know, if you are a regular viewer of Daily Distinction on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, just do a quick check-in, just see how everybody's doing. Hope everything is going great. Just try to give you one little simple idea that you may want to think about as you're preparing for next week, as you're getting ready for whatever the world is going to bring you next week. Hey, one thing that I haven't mentioned for quite a while is that there are free resources available for you, and you can see it there. It's called Distinction Nation. Just go to distinctionnation.com, and there's ebooks, all kinds of good stuff that you can download there about what it takes to create distinction and stand out. Because when you stand out, you earn more, right? If you're more distinctive, customers want to come back and do more business with you. So it's there for you at Distinction Nation. Hey, there's my friend Cheryl. Good to see you, Cheryl. How you doing today? Hope everything is great with you. Scott, good afternoon to you. So glad that you are joining on Saturday. Hey, Donovan, I don't know where you are in the world today, but I hope you're home because I know you've been traveling a bunch. So I hope everything is great in your world as well. Great to see you guys here. Hey, I just got one thought to share with you today. What a Saturday. It's 55 degrees in the backyard and planes are going over and kids are playing in the street. And that's not a bad day. That's a good day. One of the things I was thinking about is I've been, trying to watch a little television and if you haven't seen The Queen's Gambit yet, man, I highly recommend that. Oh my gosh. It's Netflix. It is so stinking good. It is so good. And it was just intended to be this series. I think there's only 7 shows. By the way, that's part of what I liked about it. Joe Calloway and I were talking about this yesterday. There's a lot of shows, that they do 10 episodes, and you watch 10 episodes, and you think, man, they could have got that done in 6. Yeah, right. They just kind of drag things out. What I liked about The Queen's Gambit was 7 episodes told the story, and it was done. But there was something about it that was pretty cool as well. Hey, Charles, chilly and overcast Silicon Valley. Man, rain is good. We have just hit the record. I don't know if you saw this now. We hit the record in Vegas for consecutive days without rain. And they said there's no rain in sight. So we could use a little bit of it here as well. Jerry, yes, we've got a couple of your great CBC team on the line live with us today. So Queen's Gambit was absolutely great, and they told the story and it was done, and they intended it to be done. And I hope they do another one because it was so. What happens to her next, right? We've invested in the main character, and I want to see what happens next. On my pal Larry Wingett's recommendation, I watched the series Ted Lasso. And it's funny, but yet it's engaging. It's based on a Saturday Night Live character, but there's not a wasted moment in it. I got to see what happens to Ted next year, right? So it's not just in movies. It can even be in these series. I mean, my pal Glenn Morshower, I want to see what happens next on The Resident. What happens in their world? What happens next? And it brings out that one of the most profitable aspects of entertainment is the sequel. Now, look, I realize that we may not need Taken 13, right? We may not need another edition of Fast and Furious. But yet, as Glenn will tell you, they keep doing Transformer movies because people keep going to see it. I mean, and they're incredibly profitable. Tammy has been so into The Mandalorian. How many Star Wars movies are there? And I saw another thing about, that's Disney announcing more on the way and all the things that's going on there. So obviously one of the most profitable aspects of entertainment is the sequel. Did you see they are making Avatar 2? They're talking about a long-awaited sequel, but people will just go crazy. Wonder Woman 2 is hitting, and of all the sequels, it's just killing me to have to wait this long for the next James Bond movie. I want to see what happens next. But somebody once wrote that all business is show business. and I think that is very, very true. Sophie, a good webinar to one of those house transformation programs. Yeah, you keep watching to see the end. Sophie, what a great point. And by the way, I'm so glad you're here today. Thank you for watching. Folks watching all over the world. That is so great. Sophie, it's always great to see you. So So one of the most profitable things is the sequel. And Sophie's right. A good webinar series where you want to see what happens next. So painting one of those right now. So Charles, who was that masked man? As kids, we wanted to see that as well. But if all business is show business, who was that guy that wrote All Business is Show Business? If that's the case, and I honestly and truly believe it is, I think it begs a great question for us about business. Are you planning and preparing for a customer sequel as much as Hollywood plans and prepares for a movie sequel? And for most of us, the answer is no, right? I mean, think about, when they were writing, well, for example, there's a movie I was reading about, and I saw it when it was in the theaters, called Switch from M. Night Shyamalan. Now, first of all, that's the guy that did a movie that didn't have a sequel, but sure got a lot of repeat business, called The Sixth Sense, because there was this big reveal at the end of The Sixth Sense, and there wasn't a sequel, but the reveal was such, it made you want to go and see the movie again. See it the second time. A lot of the people that I know watched The Sixth Sense more than once because they wanted to see, because of what they learned at the end, they wanted to see if that was true all the way through the movie. And it is, by the way. But he did another movie called Switch. Scary, terrifying, violent movie. And as the credits are starting to roll, there is one scene that makes you go, oh my gosh. And you want to go see the next movie. We see that all the time in different, they set it up so you want more. Right? The end of Ted Lasso sets it up so you can't wait to see how they handle what happens next. Yet most of us in business will think about, how do we please our customer? End. How do we create a great customer experience? The end. But we don't think about what we can do to keep them coming back, what we can do so that they can't wait to experience more of it. Now, look, a great experience. If it's a bad movie, you're not coming back for the sequel, right? So you've got to have it. That's a given. But it's what you can do above and beyond that can make such a compelling difference in the longevity of your customers, the lifetime value of the customers, the retention factor of your customers. There you go, Donovan. You love putting on sequels, right? But in part because we have to do what it takes during the initial delivery that sets them up to come back, right? That sets them up to come back. Car dealerships are good and could be better at that, right? If you have your car serviced here, the resale value is going to be higher. So keep coming back. And then when they come back, let's get you to look at other cars. By the way, your lease is going to be up. It's Randy Pennington's great story about how he bought his new Lexus, was simply that they kept him coming back. So the one idea I'd like to share with you today on our quick check-in is plan how you are going to entice customers for the sequel, which with as much passion and precision as how you acquire customers in the first place. When you deliver that ultimate customer experience and set them up for the sequel, you're going to have the most profitable thing in all of business: repeat and referral customers. Hey, that does it for today. Just doing a quick check-in. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow on our next edition of Daily Distinction. Thanks for watching.